To the new channel. First video on a new channel. Forgive the production value. Only way to go is up, you know what I'm saying? Till then, support me. We're gonna get into a couple things. Going on. It'll be a short one. Well, let's dive in. Let's get past this awkward stage of a brand new video host or whatever. Alright, here we go. Something going on in Europe. Let's take a look.
I was just interrogated by police for a criminal investigation into a meme that was posted 4 years ago. And if you think that's crazy, in 2 days I must appear in front of the Court of Appeals for another case about memes that were posted 8 years ago by others in a private group chat. I face multiple years in jail for racist memes that I didn't even post myself. And to know that 10 kilometers from here in Brussels, migrant gangs shoot and kill people with weapons of war on a daily basis, but literally none of them get arrested or jailed. I was just...
Alright, that's pretty crazy. That was coming to the US. We just barely dodged that bullet. I thought for sure they were gonna cheat. I mean, they cheated so extremely blatantly the time before. All that stuff that went on in Michigan, and the poll workers wouldn't let auditors in, and just like, you know, millions of ballots just coming in all at once in the middle of the night, all for Biden. There was a lot of telltale signs of cheating last time. You know, could you imagine that the cops went through your Facebook, found something you posted 10 years ago, and brought you up on charges, and you were facing like actual jail time, and I'm sure a fine too. You know, nothing's free. Crazy, absolute craziness. Look, this is in Ireland. This is what we could have been experiencing. Some parts of the country were experiencing this. I know New York had a lot of problems. You know, all the sanctuary cities were experiencing things just like this. Let's take a look.
Olha a briguinha. Meu Deus. Até perdi aqui o rumo. Gente, que horror.
Yeah, wild. Absolutely wild. Imagine migrants trying some shit like that in like West Virginia or something like that. Crazy. Would have been crazy. It's a clip from that meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. I actually just call myself a humble tech support here because this is actually, as crazy as it sounds, that is almost a literal description of the work that the Doge team is doing, is helping fix the government computer systems. Many of these systems are extremely old. They don't communicate. There are a lot of mistakes in the systems. The software doesn't work. So we are actually tech support. It's ironic, but it's true. The overall goal here with the Doge team is to help address the enormous deficit. We simply cannot sustain as a country $2 trillion deficits. The interest rates, just the interest on the national debt, now exceeds the Defense Department spending. We spend a lot on the Defense Department, but we're spending like over $1 trillion on interest. If this continues, the country will become de facto bankrupt. It's not an optional thing, it is an essential thing. That's the reason I'm here. and taking a lot of flack and getting a lot of death threats, by the way. I mean, I'd like to step him up, you know. But if we don't do this, America will go bankrupt. That's why it has to be done. And I'm confident at this point, knock on wood, you know, knock on my wooden head, it's got a lot of wood there, that we can actually find $1 trillion in savings.
Elon doing his thing. I can't believe he's catching so much shit. He used to be one of like the left's favorite people. You figure he'd be like their poster child. The hypocrisy is insane. Forcing electric vehicles down our throats. But then the main electric vehicle guy is shunned because he's not labeled a Democrat. Well, he was, but now he supports Trump. Anyway, yeah, this one's kind of a shocker. I hope they're not just dragging us along. Well, let's take a look. You tell me what you think.
I'll maybe talk to you. Why don't you come over here, Jason? Hey, we are, I'm still at the studio, and I've just been gathering the information on the so-called Epstein client release, and I just talked to Liz Wheeler, and I was just watching her podcast because she has some additional information. But we've gone through the list, and Jason is here, our chief researcher. Jason, what was in this big briefing that was given by the president and everybody else today?
So we went through the entire 20-plus page dump that was released through the, I guess the DOJ or the FBI. It's on the website now. It's public information. And it is the biggest disappointment, I think, that you'll find. I encourage you to do your own homework on this. It's mostly procedural jargon, Glenn, heavily redacted. Basically no new information. Little bitty tidbits, but again, it's inconsequential. It's just procedural stuff. It's bad.
So they were talking, this was going to be release that everybody has been waiting for. Apparently, with the president, vice president, Pam Bondi, and Kash Patel in the room, Liz Wheeler and others were told this morning, given this binder, which has absolutely nothing in it, and they were told that by Pam Bondi and the president that she had, because the president asked, ordered for the release of this. Kash Patel delivered it to her desk last week. They were going through it. They expected this to be full of everything that Kash Patel has told me he has seen in the past. But there was nothing. There was nothing left in it. And Liz reports that she was told that the feeling from Pam Bondi and others is that the Southern District of New York, the FBI in the Southern District of New York, actually has the tapes and everything else and will not turn it over to the White House or to Pam Bondi. If that is true, and I understand Liz correctly, and Liz is going to be on my radio program tomorrow and my podcast tomorrow to talk about her experience. If that indeed is true, then we have a civil war on our hands, an internal civil war. You have a duly elected president, his duly elected confirmed leaders of the FBI and the Department of Justice, and then you have the Southern District of New York FBI and Department of Justice bucking the orders of the president and their direct bosses. There is no other way to describe it. If that is true, there is no other way to describe it than you have a department, two departments under the president that are in complete rebellion. And that would have to be, I mean, that's not something you take a Doge scalpel to. That's something you take an axe to and you cut it out, because that's a cancer, and it is a rebellious cancer. And honestly, a civil war against the president and his duly processed appointees. This is not what I expected from Kash Patel and Pam Bondi and the president and the vice president, and I take them at this point at their word because I know them. I know how serious each of them are about rooting out this cancer. But this looks really, really horrible for the president, because what others will say is, well, this is just the same old stuff, and names of people that they were friends of were on, and so they had to blame it on somebody else. Well, I just don't believe that of the president and Kash and Pam. I know the passionate response in private about these names and about this list, and how Kash in particular couldn't wait to release this. He is he is a dog with a bone. He is on a mission, and so is the president, and I believe Pam Bondi is too, on a mission to rat this evil out. If it's true, we're in civil war. The state is at civil war with itself. If it's not true, then we will see this administration not move against the Southern District of New York. If I were President Trump, and I got to give him the benefit of the doubt here, because I think this is, giving him the benefit of the doubt, he is focused on Russia and everything else. But if I were Donald Trump, and no matter what I had planned, if I had an agency in rebellion, I would get on my plane and I would fly to New York, and I would personally fire every single person, and I'd put a padlock on that door in Southern District of New York. That's what the president, I believe, should do if, I understand what Liz is saying is correct, and if it is indeed true. You cannot tolerate this. We already have 70 lawsuits internally from people who work in the administration, suing the administration, trying to stop the duly elected president, who is the CEO of the administration. These people think they don't work for the president of the United States. The president of the United States was elected and given a mandate. He was hired and duly elected, winning the popular vote and the electoral college. To do what? To do exactly what he's doing. Clean this rat's nest of lies and vipers up and fire everybody if he has to. If you don't work for the president and you're in the administration, whom do you work for? Congress? Because the administration is not constitutionally part of Congress. It's part of the administration. That's the executive branch. So if you constitutionally can't work for Congress, I know you don't work for the judiciary, and you say you don't work for the president, who hired you? Who can fire you? You say, well, I'm working for the American people. We don't even know who you are, quite honestly. None of us know who you are. None of us elected you. We elected the president. All of these things are true, and you should know by tomorrow. President Trump, I beg you, go personally to New York and fire all of these people and set an example. This cannot stand. Tomorrow on the radio.
All right, y'all. My bad about that. Well, it wasn't my bad. This guy's got his finger over the mic. But that's pretty in-depth stuff there. It feels suspicious. Why were they hyping us up for these files that have been sitting on the desk for, what, a week? She said they were on her desk days ago, just for review, and then they were going to release them. And I mean, Kash Patel sort of ran on day one Epstein files getting released. And then we waited a week, and then they kind of got an excuse that New York won't come off the videos and the tapes and stuff. Why wouldn't they have said that off rip, made the announcement, and pointed their finger at New York if that's what was going on? That's a little bit unsettling. Definitely a little nerve-wracking. Was not expecting this. But yeah, I agree 100%. He should go down there and cut that shit out like a cancer. I mean, what happened back in the day on a ship? If a crew member turned on the captain and tried to have a mutiny, made him walk the plank, man. You got to get it out of there because it doesn't get better. You have to get rid of it, you know. But I think I'm gonna call that for the first video. Hope you guys don't mind it. Hopefully you could hear everything he was saying. Guy's a trip. Comment, like, and subscribe. Stick with me a little bit here. I know the quality's not like great, but it'll just keep getting better and better. I sit around and keep up with this shit all day, every day anyway, so I might as well be making a video. You know what I mean? Appreciate you. Catch you in the next one.